is a magical operation of maximum importance. The initiation of a new aeon. When it becomes necessary to utter a word, the whole planet must be bathed in blood. Ah, yes. Welcome to Deadhaus Whispers.
Got it.
Greetings, everyone. I am your host, Calypso, and welcome to Deadhaus Whispers. And I am also joined, as usual, by Faceless Mike.
Yo, greetings, hello, and welcome.
How are you doing today, Mike?
Bit tired, but we're good. We're good. We got to see some really cool video recently.
Yeah, we did. It was very, very exciting. Yeah, I guess that's what we're going to be talking about today. I hope everybody else got to see that video. If you didn't see that video, I think you should. Just get on YouTube, look up Deadhaus Sonata. It should be the first thing that should pop up of some actual new gameplay, and Dennis talking about it and you talking about it, I believe, also.
Me talking about it and playing it.
And playing
it. Sit here and pretend I've never played this thing before, ever.
Yeah. It's crazy to see, you know what I mean? After waiting for like so long and having everybody else, be super excited and waiting about this kind of stuff, to actually see Dennis blabbing about it and you playing it and everything.
It's because it felt like it took so long. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just editing things in the background here, making sure everything is working, so don't mind me. For anyone just tuning in, don't forget, check out DeadhausSonata.com. Follow all the socials. Go pick up a Founders Pack or Supporters Pack, because the Founders Pack are sold out now, Mike. You can get the Supporters Pack on the store. And you know what I was telling everyone, Calypso, for ages? Hey, guys, go pick up a Supporters Pack. Go pick up a Supporters Pack. You're really going to want to pick one up. Yep. Why would they want to pick one up? Not just to support the game.
To support the game. And also, if you do have a supporters pack or a founders pack, you will be receiving an email and a special code for something.
No, not guaranteed when you get a supporters pack.
Not guaranteed.
So how it's working at the moment is if you have a supporters pack and you come to the live stream, you will be eligible that when Dennis says the word, if you follow the orders, like the last time was everyone throw one in the chat or whatever silly emote he decides, not like that, we will be taking all your names, you will get NDA'd, and you will be able to play it. And then after a little while, it will be released to all supporters. And then a little while after that, the hopes will eventually be that a little bit down the line, it'll be released publicly to everyone. That's just for the demo, because you all know the game will be released publicly to everyone, free to play anyway.
Yes.
But just to clarify that for anyone. And so when you go to deadhausSonata.com, you want to go check over in the little bit media section, go onto the YouTube channel, and you can watch the video we're going to be talking about today.
Yes. Gosh, it's so cool. I like lit up while watching that video,
because everything's coming up Deadhaus.
Yeah. I felt like a little kid again, man. I felt like a little kid. It was awesome.
Chibi bat form confirmed, huh?
Yes, exactly. Chibi bat form confirmed. Right here.
If my most recent... No, it does not, my friend. I don't need to worry about those things, because I have been scolded internally for quite a long time on what I am and am not allowed to talk about. So I don't need to worry about breaking NDA, but everyone else might want to be careful, because that's part of one of the things at the moment, guys, is because you want to keep everything internal and you want to get feedback of the most ardent supporters in the community first, to be able to help shape the way the game is moving forward. And then they'll be getting more and more public feedback, because a lot of people don't realize this, Calypso, that they're like, oh, but this is just early access. No, this is like the game in development. Like other companies say, oh, you're getting beta access or you're getting early access. No, the game's ready and it'll be released in 3 months. They don't want that. They're just stress testing servers and gauging market interest. With Deadhaus, this is legit early access. Like the game is still in development as these things are happening.
I think, speaking of early access, I think one of the, now that I just thought about this, would it be considered early access if you remember that Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay footage from E3 like a couple of years ago, would that be considered like an early access demo because the game wasn't even built yet around that time?
I don't
Or
know.
would
Don't
that
even get me
be
started on that because
considered
you could mention
a
Anthem.
vertical slice? Yeah. Oh yeah, Anthem. Oh man, poor Anthem. Poor
Man, there was a
Anthem.
good game in there somewhere, man. That was so sad.
Be
Wait, you're saying beta testing coming like real soon? Beta testing coming like now for some people. And if you join in on the streams, Reb, which are at the end of the month, I think next one is it the 27th?
yes,
Pardon me,
2
my
weeks from
days are
now.
horrible. On the
2 weeks from
27th,
now.
if you jump onto the Deadhaus Sonata live stream and wait for the cue from Dennis and follow that, people's names are taken. Anyone that is a founder or supporter, you can get access. Beta testing will be release of the game's age 1. Yes and no. It is and it isn't. Like, we're doing things, as Apocalypse is putting it, they're doing things in the realm that it's kind of beta access, but it's more early access, because age 1 will be the game. Like, it will be its own story that you will play through and all like that. Some of the features might be missing that need to be implemented, and they'll be taking feedback on tweaking things, but there will be a game there. And then when we go into age 2, it'll be a new age. There'll be more story. There'll be more things happening. So it is early access and it isn't. It's kind of like a prologue. Age 1 and
like
age
that.
2 would be prologues, shall we say. I think that's probably the most accurate way to put it.
Yeah, prologue is a good term, I think. Yeah, prologue. Now featuring the prologue for Elden Ring.
Oh, I've been playing so much of that. I finally finished it, by the way.
I wish I was a Souls fan, and I was kind of into that kind of stuff, because Elden Ring looks amazing.
There's no shame in alley. No shame in not being a Souls fan, dude. I work with a few people that they're like, I really like those games, but I'm just not a Souls person. I was like, that's cool. They were big into Horizon. I'm like, well, hey, as long as you're happy, man, whatever games are your games, you know?
I did play the PlayStation 1, the long lost PlayStation 1 version of Elden Ring, though. That's pretty good. I mean, Bloodborne, my bad. That was
I just
really
want to point
fun.
in there, in the immortal words of Dennis, Templeton asks, is the Vampire Lich and Revenant still planned to be there for day 1, age 1? That's a really good question. Well, this
That's
is
a great
not
question.
An official Deadhaus stream, and I am not Dennis Dyack, so I cannot tell you that.
And I have no idea, so I
no. The idea is, I think there is 3 classes planned. How that works out, it'll be interesting to see. I know they're trying to get everything sorted so that there will be more classes in, like the demo that everyone got to look at. But I don't know. I have no idea on timeframes for any of that. Like, you already know, I didn't buy the Founders Pack.
Something play long term. Access. Okay, I guess
it is
we
not.
Talk about.
Yeah, it is not an MMO. It would be considered, it would be more like Diablo or Elden Ring. It's a single player game played online with multiplayer elements. So you can play the entire game solo and it won't alter anything dramatically for you, or you can play with friends. Like Warframe or Destiny, I think, are probably the closest examples, even though they're the wrong genre and the wrong type of thing, you know? It's a third-person narrative-driven, free-to-play ARPG, which is a mouthful and confusing to most people. The Witcher meets Bloodborne with multiplayer.
Yeah, I think that's the okay. Well, I mean, I think we talked about this in one of our previous episodes also.
Yeah.
Like, what distinguishes an MMO? What distinguishes an ARPG? What makes Warframe and Warcraft different from each other?
There you go. I give you word salad you were supposed to use, Mike. I know. What distinguishes... Okay, to classify an MMO is usually a varying version of an open world. Like, I know they're divided into zones now, but a variation on open world where technology permits. And it's massively multiplayer. It's like, oh, I thought it was going to be like WoW. No. Although WoW is a good example for an MMO where you have hundreds of people in one place. That won't happen in Deadhaus. Deadhaus will be like Warframe, where you will play levels and missions in different parts of the world, and you can play them solo, or you can play them with like 6 people, 5 other people and yourself. So it'll be 6 players together. Now, there'll be areas where there'll be social hubs where you can go in and there'll be like loads of people, but that's not the whole game. You can do dungeon or quest together with friends at a max of 6. Yes. Damn, now I should have bought a founders pack. You can grab a supporters pack at any time, Rev. You're not missing out.
Yep.
Don't worry. There's nothing that is gone that you will not be able to get, bar like a few cosmetic items. So if you want to support at any time, you'll still be able to do that. The key thing for the supporters packs is it's basically you pre-buying platinum and access to the first and second age. But those will not be off the card. So when the first stage comes out, pardon me, you will still be able to buy a supporters pack to get into the first stage. So you should not be locked out. Dennis does not like the idea of excluding people from stuff. Reward the people that have supported the longest, but don't exclude new people. You know? You missed out on some platinum deal cosmetic.
Shop
Yeah, there was bonus ones for people that invested years ago. Wow, Calypso.
Years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. I think it doesn't feel like years ago because we've all been locked in our houses for the past like 2 years or something.
2021 doesn't exist to me.
Exactly.
It's just like it was a blip and gone.
2019 came and went like that almost. It's crazy, man.
I still have.
I remember
processing. It's 2022. Like,
dude,
that's the future,
I do too,
man.
I do too, and my birthday was last week. I have a hard time processing
happy
that.
Birthday, son.
Thank you. Oh, why? Yes, I believe you have.
But like, yeah. So who's seen the gameplay?
Yes.
Like the werebat?
For those who managed to make it 10 minutes into this thing already or 12 minutes in, we're talking about a Deadhaus Sonata gameplay demo that was streamed and Mike played and Dennis talked last
I think that's
ago.
A winning formula. You should have Mike play and Dennis talk.
Dennis talk.
Let Dennis talk, let Mike play, and that's how we win everything.
Yep. Oh, thanks everybody for the birthday wishes. But yes, that's what we're talking about. I'll probably make the thumbnail or something, the actual gameplay and stuff. But yeah, so and it was the gameplay. It was a gameplay demo, and Mike played, and he played really well, and Dennis talked about it, and it was exciting.
I just want to give a hats off to Deadhaus because he was the first one that pointed it out. Someone asked on the live stream, it's like, is it like a controller or mouse and keyboard? And Deadhaus straight away, I can tell by the way Mike's sitting, he's playing on a joypad. Like that good spot. Like it wasn't a secret or anything. Like the demo we're playing, it has support for like gamepad and mouse and keyboard, but that spot was really good and really quick. Considering I was like a small square in the corner.
Oh yeah. Let's just turn your face into the actual HUD elements, and every time you switch states, your head changes from red to green to blue.
I'm thinking about overlays for the stream. Hamilton, can we throw a wrench in the formula and have Dennis play? And like, that would be so boring with me talking constantly. Do you not get enough of that here? I already interrupt him enough. But you were saying anyway, one of the points you wanted to make was the classification between an MMO and an ARPG, Calypso.
Yes.
This at length.
So I've gone through this at length before. So an MMO is a massively multiplayer online game, and that is where you have thousands upon thousands or millions of players, and you're all in a giant open world, and you all have little sectorial hub areas, and you go on the same quest, and everybody does the exact same thing, and yada 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 yada. And I think the thing that distinguishes like Warcraft from Warframe is that like open worldiness. Because even though you're playing Warcraft, even though I'm playing as a cleric single player, and people are coming in and out, lack of escort quests, yes, that too. Like I think the thing that makes like MMOs is just the entire community interaction and the fact that everybody is everywhere all at once. That's a mouthful. And I think with like Warframe, it's you can be online, but there is a very specific, you can do this by yourself for the entire game. And instead of having a giant open world, it's purely a hub here, a hub there, a community gathering area here, a community gathering area there. And you can have people join in your party or not. The story might unfold the same way as for everyone else, but it's your story. it's your story. I think the thing with MMOs is that the stories for MMOs isn't necessarily your story. It's the story of the world, and like the world is being affected and everybody is being affected with MMO
Very,
stories. But
very
in
few have
Warframe,
done
it's
that well.
singular.
Very
Very
few
few have
have
done
done
that
that
well.
well
I mean,
in MMOs. They're like, you're special, like these other 9,000 people.
yes, no. The thing that turned me off about Elder Scrolls Online being an MMO was that everybody was special
You
and they
were
all
the
had the same
chosen
armor and
one. Like
you were all the
everyone.
chosen one. There's a video, it's gone viral. There was a viral video that's literally just like a 10-second clip of everybody wearing the exact same armor, but it's different colored, so it's kind of like a rainbow going down a line, and then they're all going to the same quest giver and all getting the same quest, and it's literally just like a line. You're next, next, next. You're the chosen one. You're the chosen one. You're the chosen one. You're the chosen one. It's ridiculous.
The biggest difference is the lack of escort quests.
Yes,
They
there.
can
Thank you, thank you,
burn. They
thank you, Termulgin. MMOs, you are a cog in the machine. ARPGs, you are the main character. Yeah, escort quests. Yes, no thanks.
Burning passion, because you've got all these people, and it's always a case of they walk too slow for you to run and too fast for you to walk. That is my biggest peeve in every game, and they seem to get that one thing correct in every game.
I don't know why. Like the one thing I will say I love about The Witcher 3, and we brought it up again. The one thing I love about The Witcher 3 is that if you're walking or running, the NPCs will match your pace. Like in Witcher 3, all the NPCs, when you're walking or running somewhere, if you're walking, they're walking right next to you. If you're running, they're running right next to you. And the dialogue when you're talking through it, like Grand Theft Auto style, is always succinct and it will never cut off early, mid cutscene or whatever. It's just they did a great job with that. And yeah, it's the only thing I like.
One of the few, very rare, even if they have no health or what.
Oh yeah.
When we started, I could do a whole podcast on how much I hate escort quests.
I love.
Like at this point, I'm just going to knife that character in the back. It's like, oh, but you lose. It's okay. We can lose whatever. I don't care.
No, the
he's
two
the
best
prince's son. Well, he's one son less now.
The two best escort quests, escort quest games are Ico and BioShock Infinite. I would consider just a giant escort quest. Oh, Rogue Squadron's good too. Yeah, you got me there. That's a great one.
But that's cheating, because that's an airplane flight sim-y type game rather than you walking on a character. Awesome. Yeah. The Deadhaus Discord bot just informed me that I said, oh, so I'm not like 2 hours behind.
Oh, good.
Because that's what normally happens.
Maybe. You're 18 minutes behind.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey guys, we just started the stream. Welcome to Deadhaus Whispers. This is our first episode. No.
By the way, for anyone asking or for anyone listening to this later on after the fact, not only will Calypso here be putting some footage over this.
Yes, I'm going to just overlay all of this.
But we will have a link to the original stream down below, down at the bottom. So if you're watching this anywhere else, just come onto YouTube, give us an old follow. Tickle the old bell, as they say, and then you'll be able to find all the info down below, or you can always find all the links on deadhausonata.com.
Yes. And I think Mike, I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later, but if you guys would like to actually pick up a supporters pack and support Faceless Mike a little bit in all this stuff, the link down below will be for the YouTube and everything of this on Deadhaus Whispers YouTube channel, to get directly to the store, to get a supporters pack, and to support Apocalypse Studios and other jazz. But
yes. And now people will begin to see the fruits of the labor.
Yes.
I have altered the deal. I do not alter further. Yes. Because you see, the Discord bot and RNG bots hate me, which is going to be hilarious, because like when we get to the point where we're actually playing, most of y'all that have not gamed online with me don't believe this, right? Because I'm fairly certain even Calypso doesn't believe this, but you will see it in action when we're playing Deadhaus. And this is for someone that works for Apocalypse Studios. The RNG gods hate me And if we are going for a particular weapon or something, y'all will get years, and I will kill that NPC 300 times, and it still won't bloody drop. Because the RNG gods, hey, RNGesus is not a fan of it. I promise you. But anyway, what did you think of
Yeah.
the blood? Because y'all asked for more blood, Calypso.
I loved all the blood. I love the blood. I love the decapitations or whatever. The arms freaking falling off. Oh, dude, it was the coolest thing ever,
Off
man.
with his head.
It was awesome. I think I loved when you were like dodging or whatever and it was going into mist form. I thought that's chef's kiss
There's the
right
mist
there.
form
The mist
dodge like
form
that. Like
dodge.
so like how I was doing that is you use your mist form and you will like kind of sidestep and shadow step, because as Dennis explained before, how the tarot system is going to work is you're going to have little nodes that you'll unlock, so you'll be able to have more and more abilities with your mist form once it's all fully implemented. So when you hit mist form, normally I think he just kind of takes a step back in mist form, but if you
Yeah.
like move left or move right, you'll like shadow step each direction. And when you get your bloodbath thing up, so you see when I was playing it and Dennis was explaining how we were charging up the runes, when you
Yeah.
get that up to a certain level with Dance Macabre, what happens is if you target a character or you're facing towards a particular character and your attack, it'll do that shadow step towards them. So it kind
Cool.
of like
That's
almost
cool.
teleports you before, and I love that black smoky effect. It's really
No,
cool.
that's cool. I like if I'm not mistaken, during your gameplay, I'll try to find the specific
Yeah.
clip for this. Can you mist form through guys and go like through them, behind them, and teleport
That's the
behind them?
plan. I have not tested that yet, but I think
I
that will be the plan. Like you will be able to do that.
Yeah, when you're like super. I do love that when you actually go into mist form or whatever. I noticed it's kind of like Blood Omen, where even though you're in mist form, people can still see you because you are
Mm.
just a floating thing of mist, and the guys are like chasing you and everything like that during this gameplay. I can't tell you how many times I've rolled nat 20s in D&D. I'm known as the guy who just rolls the most of those in our group. No luck in real.
I
Oh,
am your exact opposite. I might have luck in real life, but
he's really
not
seen
in
ankle, busted shoulder. No, we were playing. Speaking of D&D, me and my friends started a D&D campaign like a month ago, and I decided to go with a wizard character. So I was like, okay, sure. Let me roll all my stats. I got straight nines across the board for like all of my starting, health and strength and constitution and all this stuff. But like I don't know what like magic was there for me, but I got like straight like just great numbers all the way down my character sheet. Like it's stuff like that that makes like physical D&D play really cool, that beats digital like Roll20 or whatever the websites are for it.
it.
Would you want a tabletop version of Deadhaus?
Yes, but only if I can
Yeah.
have the little miniatures to paint.
Oh,
Not
definitely. No.
tabletop, because I'm really bad at the RPG stuff. Like I
Yeah.
used to play Vampire the Masquerade a lot, but I would love like little, like
Little minis, like minis.
I don't want to say board game because that's the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
I know what you
Tabletop
mean.
minifig.
Yeah,
ones.
I just got a Geralt, miniature that's like 12 inch, like this tall or something. And I really want to get into painting because like miniature painting is like a new fascination of mine.
Dude, I've done it
but,
for
like,
years. I loved it. There's a weird meditation when you're doing it.
yeah.
Like you're just sitting painting. I always really enjoyed that. We rolled D20 for stats 1. Never again. The DM said my barbarian had 20 strength, 20 dex, 20 con, 12 intellect, 20 wisdom, and 19 charisma at levels
Oh my
1.
god. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
isn't there a limit though?
yeah,
Isn't there
I
a
think
limit
there
if you get
is.
like 20 in one, if you get
You have
20
to
in the next
like,
one, it has to be like a max of like 12 or something. I have no idea. I'm terrible at stat sheet stuff.
no, me
That's why I like
too.
the video game stuff where it does it for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, thanks for all the number crunching for me, guys. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. No, but I was thinking of that. I was thinking of like Deadhaus tabletop and how there's so many tabletop. There's a tabletop version of Dark Souls and stuff coming out. There's a tabletop version of Bloodborne already. There's a tabletop version of like just all these games. Borderlands. There's one of Borderlands now, so it makes me wonder like how a tabletop version of
I
Deadhaus
see
would
there's
work.
like D&D rules for Deadhouse, or not Deadhouse, for Dark Souls.
I think
I've seen
so.
there's
I
a
know there's a
book
lot of
that
homebrew stuff too.
It's like, if you hate yourself that much,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
just
No,
want to
it's
keep
too much.
dying over and over again, it's like, how many times have you died in this session, lads?
Hmm. And then luckily you're a necromancer and they can just keep raising you from the dead or something.
It'd be interesting. It could be quite for to get a board game version of the Deadhouse Dungeons. That would be
Oh,
interesting.
that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
This would be really interesting. Quite fun.
Quite
Stupid
fun.
autocorrect. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, figured.
Autocorrect hates me whenever I have to
No,
use WhatsApp or anything.
anyways, we digress. We digress. So back to the stream. Um I think my favorite parts were the dimension switching that you guys
Mhm.
showed off for. I thought that
That's
was
the
really
first
cool.
teaser into the trinary archetype system.
Yeah, it's really cool. So for anybody, I mean, I'll have video and stuff going, but for anybody who's listening to this, so within that gameplay demo, Mike showed like what the physical realm looks like, and it's like bright colors and everything. And then when he went to mist form, it was like a blue hue to like indicate that, oh, you're in like the
Destroy the
magical realm
magical
now. So it's
realm.
got the yeah, so you're in the magical realm now. You've got the blue hue going, and you're in mist. And then there's a third realm, the essential realm, which is this like spectral realm, dead realm. um, and when he went into that, it's got a green color hue, which is a great. I love that just simplistic visual indicator of, oh, now you're in the spectral realm, everything is green. But there was also a bunch of souls walking around that you could like suck, like you could drink their souls and eat their souls to get back to your uh magical realm, and then you got to get back to the physical realm by taking the magic. Like it's a great intuitive system and it looks super super
And that's
awesome.
that's how the vampire will work. I'm imagining they'll be slightly different depending on which class you play, because each class,
I
the vampire's a good example because they're in the middle of the trinary. They have
Yeah,
the
they're a jack of all
mass,
trades.
yeah, exactly. So they'll have like equal footing in all realms, whereas others may not, and that may affect how that goes forward. That I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, me too. I'm interested in seeing how they're gonna handle like the banshee, and like will the banshee start off in the magical realm, or will it start off in the physical realm like the vampire does? Will the wraith start off in the essential realm, or will it start off in the physical realm like everyone else? I think that'd be really interesting if each character started off um, in their perspective, like the realm
Hmm.
that they're from or
But how they
something.
perceive those realms might be different. So, for example, if the
Yeah,
banshee started in the magical realm, maybe it perceives that the way we perceive normal reality. And then when it
yeah,
changes into the physical realm, because it's alien to it, it will look different.
yeah. I think that'd
You
be
get
really
me?
cool. Yeah,
That will be cool. The one I'm really interested in with that is the Wraith.
me too. Me too. I'm super interested in that. Like imagine, I'm imagining like when you're in the wraith, you have a full physical body when you're in the essential realm or something, and it looks maybe like normal to you, and maybe there's a bit of a green hue somewhere just to indicate that you're there. And then when you go into the physical realm, like maybe you turn invisible kind of, or whatever it is, whatever, like the smoky
But
cloudiness of the
you
wraith.
need to think about it. You're looking at it from your player character. You
Yeah,
have to see about
yeah,
how other people would perceive it. So
that'd
if you
be
were the wraith, maybe when you're in the physical realm, that's you with the skeletal body like we see in the pictures. And
yeah,
then when you're in the magical or the essential realms, you appear the way it does, without any physical form, just like the floating kind of
yeah,
fabric kind of
that'd be
stuff.
really cool to see. Like I'm looking at you right now, and you're a wraith, and we're in the physical realm, and you're all cloudy and smoky or something. And then when you go into essential realm, maybe you disappear completely off the map, and your character is no longer there. Maybe there's just some rattling chains or something to take your place from my
Yeah.
character's perspective. I think that'd be neat. I'm interested in the white form. That's also an interesting thing to see, would be how they handle the white form. For anybody who doesn't know, the white is like a giant Frankensteinian monster, like body parts all sewn together and everything, and they are made from a soul that is from plucked from the spirit realm, the essential realm. And maybe Wyvern Tamer, if the white is in the essential realm, that that is their true form, perhaps, and like they have whatever their regular physical body is before they were
I
transported
keep
into a
wondering
giant grotesque Frankenstein monster.
if the whites can just permanently perceive the essential realm.
Ooh,
While
oh
they can walk
yeah.
around and they're staying in the physical realm, but because of the nature of what they are, they can perceive the essential in the physical as well. So like they'll get both. So like they can
Yeah.
see like these wandering souls, or where no one else can, but they can see these things happen and they just don't interact or anything. They're like,
Oh,
oh
that'd be
yeah, that's
cool.
there's a load of them over there. It's like, what? Where? It's like you can't see them, but they're there. Trust me. This is going to lead to now. Here was something I thought was really cool that I was only slightly touched on in the stream, and I kept trying to drop hints to see what anyone talk about it. Think of the implications for the trinary archetype system when it comes to bosses.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh man, my mind is already racing. That's cool. That's cool.
Maybe boss is like some big badass knight or something, and like you will be wailing on him for months. But if you switch into the essential form, you could find a way to damage him and weaken him so that you can come back to the physical form and kill him, or different things like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or what if for some boss fights you had to switch forms to beat them, unless that's what you just said and it just totally went over my head.
Or
Like,
yeah, or maybe there's certain bosses that would be optional multiplayer bosses, let's say, where you would need to have someone in the magical or the spirit realm damaging him so that his shield would be down in the physical realm so that someone could wail on
yeah.
him or destroy the body. And then once the body is destroyed, you have to jump into the magical realm to destroy the ghost or the souls in the essential, like anything. First you get swallowed, then you enter essential form and stab him from the inside. Just shank that soul.
Oh, dude, that's so cool. That'd be so
That's an
cool.
ability name if I ever heard one. Soul
Yeah,
Shank.
Soul Shank. I love that. Um, that's cool. Like, imagine I can already picture. I've been reading up on a lot of Cthulhu mythos stuff, like from Cthulhu Wars,
Yes.
for the past couple of weeks, and like props to Sandy Peterson for conceptualizing and coming up with all that crap. But I also I didn't know this, that Sandy Peterson of id and Quake and Doom fame, um was the person who actually created Call of Cthulhu back in the day, like the very first versions in like the late 80s, early 90s. Sandy Peterson did while he was working at id. Also, he also crafted Call of Cthulhu, the board game,
Yeah.
the tabletop and stuff. I did not know that. I did not know that at all. So it was really cool. But
I'm
anyways,
sitting here pretending I had no idea either. Like
yeah, no.
I'm just agreeing with you.
Thanks for agreeing with me. No, so I've been reading up on a lot of Cthulhu mythos and like the Call of Cthulhu and Cthulhu War stuff, and the way that they handle the different factions for Cthulhu Wars, I can totally see Dennis using that for Deadhaus. And like with like for Haster, for instance, he has a weird like mind control thing or whatever, because like, you look at the yellow sign, you're instantly gone mad, and you're instantly under control. And he has like if your character is within his range of like yellow sign, then that means you become his character and he takes you over. So I can see certain bosses or whatever maybe having mind control abilities, like if you're in their sphere of like AoE, I guess,
Not
AoE
Do you not remember Dennis
damage and
talking about
stuff.
that before?
I do not remember Dennis talking about
He
that
asked
before.
about people playing Cthulhu Wars. Is anyone familiar with it? He says you might get an idea of how Deadhouse works a little better.
Yeah, I should probably look up more
The
into
more I
Cthulhu
think
Wars.
about the game, the more the Wraith's gameplay is speaking to me. Ooh, is someone switching sides? I'm not
Perhaps.
gonna lie. Like second character, I rolls a Wraith. I'm straight
Yeah,
up
no.
like
Vampire's
and
my
Wraith.
number one. Vampire's my number one, and I want to say, sorry, one moment.
Mm-hmm. My ones will definitely be Vampire, Wraith, and Revenant. That'll be like my three, like kind of main thingies, and then the rest will be like. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try every one of them.
Yeah, no. Vampire's my number one, and I think I'm
Yes.
really interested in Banshee. I'm really interested in Banshee just because, from like seeing the concept art of Banshee and how they're gonna handle it and stuff, is just crazy intriguing to me. Like, how is the Banshee going to change forms? when you're in the certain like physically is the banshee going to change like are they going to do weird texture swapping? I'm thinking about this from a game dev perspective now. Like are they going to change, the mesh if you swap into another dimension as the banshee and have her be beautiful in one realm and ugly and grotesque in another realm? Like just yeah, I'm
Almost
thinking all
harkens
that kind
back
of
to
stuff.
the remember the concept art we
Yeah,
saw of
no,
the
I
banshee.
know I know they've talked about that,
Does
but I'm
it
trying to.
start to make sense now? If you go back
Yeah,
and look at the art,
it
it starts
does.
making
It
sense.
does. I love it. I love it. And I think that actually seeing vampire gameplay from that stream and stuff, and Dennis talking about it, like physically seeing stuff in action, it's really hard to understand something by just hearing someone talk about it and like seeing it on paper.
Yeah.
You really do need that. I need to physically see it with my eyeballs to
Well, I'm the
understand how
same.
this stuff is going to work.
I'm the
You
same.
know?
When I read something, I mightn't get the instructions as well, but physically watching it, I'll remember it.
Yeah.
Bringing up what Temujin said there, one thing I dislike with a passion in raids from WoW World of Warcraft was when the main tank got mind controlled and the raid just wipes, or the mage gets mind controlled and he just AoEs half of the raid to death, or killed the healers and then had a cascading effect that almost always resulted in a wipe. Now, here's the fun part. This was an explanation Dennis brought up many, many moons ago. And I think it kind of makes more sense now because now you've got an idea of the story. You've got an idea that all
Yep.
the classes have been revealed. You understand where they sit on the trinary. And you've also kind of seen an idea of how the game plays. So when they say, there is no tanks, there is no healers, everyone will be able to pick up all the weight.
Yep.
Now
Yep.
you get it. Like you could have a revenant that's a tank, and like you could have a group of people, and you could have your revenant friend be the tank. Like there's
Yeah.
no like you can fall into that traditional role if you want, but if the revenant gets wrecked, like any of the other characters could just step in there and stop everyone from getting completely destroyed. Plus,
Yeah.
you don't get wrecked. There's
Yeah, you
planes
get wrecked
shifting.
on one level, and then you get wrecked on another
Yeah.
level, and then you get wrecked on the third level, and then you finally die. My experience from vampire lore in the last 10 years of TV. Oh no, you watch 10 years of crappy vampire TV. Is that vampires can move super fast. I would love to have a slow mo effect for vampires. But I have no idea why you would implement slow mo in a multiplayer game that only works for one person. They actually handled slow mo really well in Red Dead Online and Max Payne 3 Online. The way they handled slow mo was it would physically slow down your character as well as the characters in your field of vision. So if you have like five dudes in your line of sight
Mhm.
from like here to here to here, like from like here and here and here, and then you went to slow mo, then it would handle slow mo for all of them. They would also go into slow mo, and then you would go into slow mo. So there's ways to do it network wise and everything. I don't know how complicated it is to pull off, but you can't do it. And I think for online play for like a vampire, if you're like in a slow motion mode, and you're moving like really slow, everybody else around you is moving slow, but you're moving at a normal pace. I think to physically convey that from the other player's perspective, like if I was in slow mo and Mike was watching me be in like slow motion, then it would be a blur effect. Like I'm moving
Yeah.
so fast that I'm just really blurry from his perspective, or I'm almost like disappeared or something because I'm so fast.
It wouldn't even need to be that complicated. So like most
No.
characters move at what you'd call a 1-to-1 speed, right? So
Yeah.
that would be like standard full time for anyone who does music. Full time speed, right? So when you've got a character then that's going fast or that's going like at a tremendously fast speed, it's just down to the inputs. So if you'd locked on and you could target three targets and you just keep mashing the attack button, you're, let's say vampire for Deadhaus, you do go zip to one slash zip to another slash zip to another slash. So it's going fast. You have had control, but to everyone else, it's still, it looks like it's going lightning because you are, but
Yeah.
because you've got such quick reflexes because you're tapping a button, you're not literally doing the thing, you can have the character do all of those animations quite easily.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
no. Implementation, it's easy. It's a tarot card, but technically, it's just it's just a whole lot of if statements and switch statements. No, that's a little bit of code jargon there for you
You,
guys.
you guys ever play Fear? Talk about fun
Yes,
slow mo.
Fear, always legendary. I really wish Monolith would get taken away from the Lord of the Rings and Call of Duty like Mines or whatever, and get back to making first person shooters. But yeah, it's a lot of code. It is a lot of code. But it shouldn't be that difficult to implement, like gameplay wise. Probably visually I think is the hardest thing, but gameplay wise is probably not that difficult. I don't know. But then again, what the hell do I know?
You know more than me. You can code more than
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, no, like I'm trying to think of how to do that code wise and programming wise from a gameplay, like a game designing perspective. It's easy to do. It would be easy to pull off. It's just getting that system to work properly and to visually work properly. Like programming wise, it wouldn't be that difficult because it's a lot of, okay, well, I can do this and then these guys can all do this on this branch and I'm over here on this branch, and then it really is just it's a flip-flop or it's a bumblebee kind of thing. Single player only game equals easy.
I'd love to know how many new people now that have since seen this video, not our video now, the official Deadhaus one.
Yeah.
Has it stirred more interest? Because I'm that guy that went and read all the YouTube comments.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
I
yeah,
know,
no.
I know I shouldn't. But I read the YouTube comments. So if you're going to leave nasty comments underneath it, hi, I'll be reading that and probably getting very salty and responding. But there's a lot of people that didn't think that Apocalypse would ever get to this point because there's a lot of naysayers online. And to be fair, I can't blame them because there has been a lot of stuff over the years. Not naming anyone, that have done crappy Kickstarters and games that have never released and all like that. So I can understand the doubt, but at least now this, I hope, is alleviating doubt for a lot of people when they see that this is actually something that's coming to fruition and they will get to play this. Some already, others in the very near future. CEO, my son says slow-mo is fun. Just add that to the game. Said to the
lead developer.
Oh, I wonder how many times that happens in games companies. Didn't that pretty much happen with Anthem? They just kind of came in and said, make this. What are we making? Doesn't matter. Make this.
No, I guarantee you that's how a lot of every game company has that issue of, oh, hey, this is cool. My son said it's cool. Let's do that. Then you need to have 5 other people in there.
What's trendy at the moment? Yeah, let's do that. Walks out of the room, all the developers going, oh, son of a...
Well, let's take the card system, the tarot card system for Deadhaus, and just actually make it into a card game.
That is doable, at least. No, but I like Hamilton's one. Let's add a battle royale mode. It's like, sir, it's a kart racer. Mario Kart did that. Mario Kart did that, though. The balloon games are technically like a battle royale in a kart racing game. Nintendo did it.
Nintendo did it first. Deadhaus Sunshine. Lord Zoran Sunshine, where you just get
I'm still waiting.
It's just Mario Sunshine, dude. Oh, Bloodborne cart. I think it's actually happening. I know there's
the guys that made the D-Make. The guys that made the D-Make they're working on a card game, but that joke might become a reality.
Oh no, I guarantee you it'll happen. So Gwent, yes, Gwent. I would love to see a Gwent style Deadhaus game where it has a little bit of a narrative and you just use your cards, you pick your faction, vampire or whatever, or giants or something, and then it's literally just Gwent, but it's Deadhaus. Card games are awesome. I love card games. Who doesn't love card games? Freaking Deadhaus Solitaire, Deadhaus Gwent, Deadhaus Poker. Give me all of it, man.
Technically, if there is a full tarot deck per character, which would be the 72 cards, you could theoretically play Deadhaus Poker.
Yes, you could. 72 pickup.
I mean, if you had Kart Racer option in the Deadhaus capital, I'm sure it would be a huge success. Okay, you see, now when you're saying that, whenever there's whatever the social areas are in Deadhaus, I am going to start running unofficial races. Your character stripped of armor, you're not allowed any buffs, no special abilities, and then race. And we'll have a standard race, and then we'll do the special abilities race where you're able to use whatever abilities or tarot cards you want to cheese it.
Oh my gosh, I can imagine it. I can imagine an angry revenant sitting in a really tiny car, just bunched up, you know.
Or how about the one? How about the game Angry Revenants, where it's like a revenant, only instead of like Angry Birds, where you're pulling back in a slingshot, you're pulling back in on the revenant's hand. He's just hawking ghouls at a castle
Yes,
until you knock
yes.
down the castle wall.
Oh, that'd be
He's
amazing.
just
All
doing a
you get,
fastball special with the ghouls.
I could already see it. The screen is just a giant like revenant hand or whatever, and then you're just chucking. That'd be amazing. One race a week. Imagine if the dailies for Deadhaus were just community races and it was just get from this line to this line.
Oh, I'm
Whack-a-ghoul.
assuming it's going to be the dailies will be community church burnings or something bizarre.
I like the
Community,
whack-a-ghoul idea.
the community the communal sacking of whatever castle happens to lay to the west of where we are right now.
Yeah,
Whack-a-ghoul. Dude, I'm telling you, these need to get put on the forums.
They
These are some
do.
great ideas. Like these are the mobile spin-offs for Deadhaus. You know, Whack-a-ghoul, Angry Revenants.
that would be
Dude, there would be a hardcore
for a car
competition for
leaderboard.
I'm telling you, I'll run unofficial ones. I'll
Yeah.
run unofficial ones. I'll keep them on a little sheet and I'll have them in the background whenever I'm streaming and just hang them up here.
All right, so let's. I pose a question. Gosh, we digressed a lot for this episode.
We do this all the time.
Yeah, I pose a question. What is? I mean, you've played the demo extensively, I'm sure, and you played it for the stream. What is your favorite part of it?
Well, one of the things I like the most is you got to see this on the stream, right?
Yeah.
I like how the combat feels. One of the biggest parts that Dennis brought up and that I wanted to emphasize on the stream as well, but I kind of got caught off on the back foot because Dennis asked me while like I was playing at a particular part and I wasn't able to give it to my full attention. The combat in this game is very important. And I think that's one of the key things that they want feedback from the community on, in how it looks and in how it'll feel whenever people get to play the demo and all. They want feedback on the forums. It's something you'll be doing the vast majority of the game. So the feel of the combat's very important. The pacing, the responsiveness, how it plays out. In getting to play that, you actually get to feel like you're not just a character swinging a sword, which is very important because the key thing of this game is you are a member of the House of the Dead. If this was just like Elden Ring or The Witcher with an undead skin, it would be boring. You need to feel like you are your character. I know some people mightn't see that at the moment because there's only the vampire class at the minute, but as more of them come along, I think that's a very important thing that people need to see and need to feel for themselves, because that's what will distinguish this game from a lot of others.
All right.
What about you, Calypso, from what you've seen?
From what I've seen, I think I liked the combat. I liked the look of the combat. I like the look of it. I do think that from my understanding of vampires, at least what I have in my head anyway, and how they're portrayed in the demo, is that the vampire was a little bit weak. But I mean, I guess I understand why. It's probably for like balancing purposes or something. But the fact is
like, as Dennis said,
like
the balancing hasn't even begun.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, it's just putting in the mechanics.
Yeah, no, I think mechanic wise, it all works and it looks great so far. But I think it's there's an atmosphere to it. It doesn't make it's weird to say that there's an atmosphere to a combat demo, but there's definitely an atmosphere, and I loved that the most. I think I loved that it's very clear and concise that like of what it's going for, and it kind of feels oppressive. And when you switch into the other realms within the demo, I love that like each version is distinct for that, but it feels different each time. Like when you were in the magical realm, it felt like you were in a magical realm. It felt like there was an otherworldly thing or presence or whatever.
That I think will be very important later on, because like from what Dennis is mentioning, like again, these are just mechanics being put into a demo at the moment. When this goes later on, like the idea will be things like the legionnaires mightn't be able to damage you as much, but like when you get kicked into the magic or the spiritual realm, that's when like priests become dangerous.
Yeah,
That's when
it
they
feels.
suddenly become, it's like, uh-oh, now I'm in trouble. Whereas he was standing at the back flinging spells at you before. It's like, I'm not even concerned about him. Bang, into the spectral realm or into the soul realm. You're like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, it feels different. I think that's what I think they nailed that so far. Like as far
I
as like a
also
different.
I also like when you said the atmosphere as well. I don't know how many people notice if you go back and watch it, like the lighting from like the branches
Yeah.
that are hanging and the smoke, the mist kind of smoke that
Yeah,
comes
no, it
in
looks
from the top
awesome.
of
It
the
looks
corner.
it looks awesome. It looks gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Especially for just a combat demo, dude. Like they already got a good look for it. And that's what I like though. That's what I like about Apocalypse and Deadhouse that every other gameplay studio, like unless you know you're trying. I love that the Dead Space crew, the guys who are working on the Dead Space remake are doing this also, but they're being really transparent. Like this combat demo could have just been a grayscale number crunching. Here's all the just mechanics, and here's how they work. But they went above and beyond and put texture in there and put particle effects, and I love that too. Like there's an effort put into just a combat demo, which is cool, you know.
A lot of that is from what you hear Dennis talk about a lot. I don't think people get it. They hear him say it, but I don't
But
think
they
they
don't
get it.
get
But
it.
they'll
No.
they'll start to get it now. When he says transparency is important for a game studio, and especially for him in the way he wants to develop things, and he has the attitude of show, don't tell.
Hmm.
Not going to tell you all this, that, and the other. We're going to show you, and you'll get it from there.
Yeah. If you want a loyal community, transparency is crucial. Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to highlight something that happened, I think, last week or maybe even this week. So, digressing really quickly, everybody knows who's played Dead Space back in the day. They're working on a Dead Space remake rather than just continuing the series. They're working on a remake of Dead Space One. It's being done by a French development studio. And so far, they actually have a lot of enthusiasm for it. It looks really good so far. However, they showed the early version of how the gunplay is going to work, and they wanted feedback on it. And a bunch of community members were like, well, this needs to get fixed, and this needs to sound a little better, and all this other stuff. They actually listened and
Yeah.
updated it and released a video of, hey, here's all the updated crap that you guys wanted fixed and changed to make it better for us as well as for you guys, the fans who are going to end up playing
Yeah.
this game. They listened. That's a huge thing within game development. When a freaking game is released, and we've talked about this before, and Dennis has talked about this before, and everybody else, it should be a common knowledge now. I'm sad it's not. It should be common knowledge that when there is a game company and they're like, oh, hey, get access to this closed beta or this early version of all this stuff and give us your feedback. What you're playing right there is the thing that's going to get released. And it's been like, it's only 3 months out from release or whatever. This is literally a will it sell well kind of push moment
Yeah.
for game studios. Like that whole give us feedback 9 times out of 10 is not going to happen. And if it does, it'll be integrated into a patch like 6 or 7 months down the line once the game has already been released. Like that's AAA studios though, and that's just
When
the industry right now.
indie guys and the smaller teams do it and they give you early access, a lot of the times the smaller guys, they're giving you real early access.
Yeah, very. When indie studios do it, it's crazy early access. Like it's gray box style stuff.
Because they're legitimately looking for your feedback.
Yeah.
Last two Doom games.
No. Did you hear about the latest Doom feedback story about the boomstick? No. What's the feedback,
No.
Georgian? I didn't even know they updated the shotgun for Doom Eternal. Or is it Doom 3?
Things were okay the way they were. Don't mess it up. The other part to
Yeah.
that is I keep hearing rumors, and I try not to feed into it because I don't want to get my hopes up. But because of how well Doom went, and because of how well Doom Eternal went,
Though they're working on
there's
Quake.
yeah.
I've
I
heard
don't want
about
to
that
get
too.
I don't want to get my hopes up, but oh my
Yeah.
god.
I think they are because like there was that Quake remaster that Night Dive did.
Do you know what they should do as well? I
What?
doubt it'll happen, but oh my god, like bring back Trent Reznor.
Oh yeah, no, for the freaking Quake, like whatever the next Quake is, bring back Trent Reznor. They should. Will it happen? I don't know. I think it'd be cool if they did.
He's not doing anything. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like he's releasing a Nine Inch Nails album like every like 2 or 3 years. Like
or 14. Or 14 of them.
yeah, or
It's a
14.
cool story. The original feedback, it felt underpowered and weak, so they increased the sound by 250% and 100% gore increase on hit. That's how you do it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
what I'm
it's just
saying.
some
Just because
a
it
simple
doesn't feel
tweak.
under, when you're talking about underpowered, it's like, does it cause damage or do you just want more effect? Instant hit, people now said the boomstick became the strongest and best weapon and that the developers nailed it. They didn't change damage. Yeah, because a lot of the times in games, it's not actually the numbers you're like,
No,
people criticize
it's
stuff.
the
It's,
sound.
yeah.
It's the sound of the
Didn't
animation.
they do that in like there was I think who was it? Was it Elon Musk said that on like a podcast or something? He'd mentioned that people were upset with the electric cars, so they actually had to put speakers in so that the
Mhm.
cars made the same noise as the engine going because like people
That's
wanted
funny.
that feedback. So like
Yeah.
when you're not revving the engine, like that's actually just a sound effect because
Yeah.
electric cars obviously the engine doesn't rev because that's not how an electric motor works. You know, it
It's the
was a
sound of the
visual and
visuals.
auditory
Yeah, it is the
feedback.
sound of the
Yeah,
visuals.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it's like that was part of the fun part to the little survey that was put on the forums. You know, more blood. You wanted more blood, you got more blood. Doesn't it look epic?
Yeah,
Looks
it's awesome. More
awesome.
blood is awesome.
Actually, don't rev. Well,
That's
they
something
shouldn't.
I think that's something that a lot of people I would say take for granted, but it's the most noticeable thing ever. Is animations will always get like a slack on game development or whatever. Like if you have bad animations or just mediocre animations, even though an animator put hours and hours and hours of work into it, if it doesn't feel good, it won't it won't you know your brain will trick your head into thinking, oh, this is crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's weird when you're playing. Anybody who's playing a video game out there, if you're playing with a controller and you're firing a gun, I guarantee you that if the animation, the sound is good for that gun, your brain will feel that kickback from it, and so
Oh,
will your
totally.
hands. It's nuts. It's crazy what our brains can do with like just video games or whatever. Like when you're chopping away with a sword and the impact, if there's a bit of an impact or something, like your brain will feel it. When you're playing God of War and you're calling your axe back and it hits Kratos's hand, you're feeling that, man. You're feeling the
Yeah.
like it's amazing.
It's about the whole immersion bit because if you get
Yeah.
fully immersed, you feel every bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you sweat during boss encounters. Like, oh, that was tough. It's like you haven't moved in your chair, didn't I? Didn't
Yeah.
I?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You know?
it's great when if you watch little kids, watch like a little kid or like your little brother or sister, or whatever, play video games when they're moving around, they're jumping up, they're like their hands are
Anyone
shaking.
that's old enough to had a Game Boy, an
Yeah.
old Game Boy. Now, I don't mean the newer ones because we did more technology with stuff and all like that. I've watched people, and I remember people playing the Game Boy doing this,
Yep.
getting
When
Mario
I
to jump.
when I was young, playing Mario with my original Game Boy back in the day, it was like this all the time, or
You weren't stupid.
this
You
or
were just
whatever.
ahead of the curve because now
Yeah.
it works like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
But
That's crazy.
that's how things were, you know. And that's the part of the immersion and the feedback is because you get sucked into this thing, and the more it goes like that, the Game Boy Color count? Yes, yes.
Yes.
As long as it was that one piece one and not a foldy doubly one, because that thing had actual like, what's it? Haptic
Like
feedback's a
weird
bad word.
haptic
What do you call
gyro
it?
controllers
Yeah,
or
gyro control.
gyro.
That's it. Gyro control. Yeah,
I don't
that's
remember
what I
what
was.
game it is. I always bring this game up. I think it was for Game Boy Color or one of the Game Boys, and it was a game where you're a vampire hunter and you needed actual physical daylight to play this game because
Oh, I
you were
remember that. They did
out.
a thing on the cartridge,
Yep,
didn't it?
yep,
Oh,
yep.
what
You
was
needed
that?
physical daylight. So to play this game during the day, and to have your powers and abilities work because you're a vampire hunter and you use like sunlight
Someone
bombs and
quick
everything, you
Google
needed
that while we're
real
on here.
sunlight. You needed real sunlight to use your power. So you actually had to go outside and play this thing. And then when it was nighttime, you couldn't play it because the screen would darken if it wasn't nighttime, like actual nighttime and stuff, and you'd be weak. You wouldn't have any abilities or anything, so it's physically unplayable at night, and in dark areas because you need to physically go outside and play this. And it was a Game Boy Color game or a Game Boy game,
I
like
think it
game
was a
DS
Game
game or
Boy.
something.
It was no, it was
Was a
like a Game Boy
Japanese
Color
thing.
or a Game Boy Advance game. I didn't
Yeah.
play it. I never got it because I don't think it actually came out here. But that's just kind of a screw you if you live in Iceland or Greenland, I guess.
Yeah,
You know,
man. Just kidding.
you're in
dude, I can't
Alaska.
play
You
this. Cool.
don't get these games.
Nope, I can't play this game for 30 days or for 6 months without sun. Jesus.
But yeah.
Blade, like the Vampire Hunter Blade? No.
I can't remember. No.
Was there a Blade game?
Boktai,
a quirky little Game Boy title that asked the player to
I
go
called it
outside
Game
and
Boy
get some
Advance.
sun. It might be Boktai. Yeah, it might be that.
Let's take a Google. Let's take a quick Google of that.
Yeah, and then and with that, guys, there will be a Deadhaus Sonata version on Game Boy Advance that requires actual sunlight. No.
Boktai, the sun is in your hand. Yep.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, cool.
That was it.
Cool fucking game. Cool game. The character was a
really
blonde-haired
cool thing,
kid,
yeah.
like a little blonde-haired kid.
Yeah.
I think.
That's it. Yeah, Pokemon Gold and Silver's Day and Night was cool. Different Pokemon that you could find. Some trainers didn't want to fight at night or during the day. That makes sense.
That's cool. It's like the
I'm
Witcher,
looking at it here. So it was like a clear
game.
plastic one, and it had like these little photo sensors on it. That's a really cool. Like that's again Nintendo. I know Nintendo. I don't think it's a first party title, but like Nintendo always embraced this kind of weird, wacky stuff for any of the ones.
Yeah.
Designer Hideo Kojima.
Wow, really? Really? Of course.
Series Boktai, initial release July 17, 2003. Designer Hideo Kojima, developers Konami Entertainment.
Oh, that's really fucking cool. Never heard about. Never even heard about. Yeah, Boktai is this really obscure game that came.
Here's a weird game with strange mechanics. I wonder about Kojima.
Kojima. I am credited in an NES, a SNES guide, as someone who helped with Q8. That's freaking cool, Wyvern Tamer.
Here's the funny one to Wyvern Tamers with that. That was kickstarted from a new thing. Wyvern Tamer is technically not old enough to have ever contributed to a SNES game, which is why that's funny. You know?
That's right. That's right. I mean, Pokemon was designed about a guy's bug collection. Yes, that's true.
I thought it was about kids trying to like fight rats on the street or something.
Something like that. Zelda was just a forest simulator because oh my god, I can't even remember his name anymore. Miyamoto?
Sacrilege. Shigeru
I know. Miyamoto, thank you. Miyamoto just went out in the woods as a kid and it's like, oh, this would be a cool game. Playing in the woods as a kid. Yeah, cool. Yeah, fun trivia lore. Yeah. So I'm excited for the Deadhaus Game Boy Advance game that's coming out next year. You actually need to go outside.
We haven't even got the full game out yet, and you're already asking for the demake.
Doing it. Yep. Need a demake, Deadhaus demake. It'll be like Blood Omen. Just make a Deadhaus version of Blood Omen, and you're good to go.
It's like the Deadhaus demake. Wasn't that Blood Omen Legacy King?
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty much.
I'm going to run that joke into the ground until I get decapitated for it. Pokemon story, son. You are now 10. Go out and beat up animals and make them fight other animals. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's animal fight. I always thought that was weird. People were like, "Oh, what video game would you like to live in?" "Oh, I like Pokemon." It's like, it's a bit barbaric in real life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like people was like, "You now live in the last video game you played. What do you? How cool is your life?" It's like, I've been playing The Witcher and Elden Ring. I'm screwed.
Oh no, no, you're screwed. Like no, imagine you'd be one of those peasants in the village. They're like, "Sir, caught any water? I'm hungry, please. I'm dying.
No, I've got the one that gets killed by the Screecher.
Oh jeez. Pokemon is Death World. Oh yeah, because you're gonna be hunted. You're gonna be hunted down by all these rabid creatures. Like I feel bad for the Pokemon because they just sit around, just chilling, and then all of a sudden a weird 10-year-old kid comes up and says, "Get in my magic ball."
People always keep asking like, how come in Pokemon, the way they like say their names? So like, wouldn't it be funny if like animals in the real world done that? It's like you're looking at that backwards. Imagine if we called animals by the noises they made.
Yeah, bark.
Like, imagine it's
go this way.
Look, what's
Dog.
that? That's a bark.
Dog, use bite.
What's that? That's a meow. Although, isn't that how it works in Chinese? Isn't like the Chinese word for cat like mao, mao mao?
Is it?
I
might be.
It is.
That'd be something to
realization there.
Oh,
What do you call that thing? It's a huh? There's many different types of. Stay away from the big long green ones, but the small roundy ones are just kind of annoying. Like,
yes. I raise them. I raise them and ride them around like bicycles. Here in Florida.
You joke. Someone will turn that into a comic or a meme.
No, I discovered that there's actually an old painting from like the 1800s of did you send this to me? I think you even sent this to me, Mike. Of a lady and a guy in like a nice dress up suit from like the 1800s and a parasol, and they're riding alligators like canoes, and they have the tail like the little canoe spinner.
In a cave painting in France somewhere, there's a dude with a cowboy hat on an alligator. It's like the foretelling. It's the prophecy of Florida.
That's fantastic. And with that, no,
Yes.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was just about to read that. If you
Oh, no,
use
if you
the name Haya in Zelda games, then it's kind of like Pokemon. People keep calling you the sound
The
you
sound.
make with your attack with your weapon. Hiya!
Hiya, get over there. Oh, jeez. Anyways, and with that, guys, that wraps up this episode of Deadhaus Whispers. You can check out the full gameplay Deadhaus Whispers. Gosh, you can check out the full gameplay and everything down below. Mike plays it and Dennis Dyack talks about it. There's a whole lot of info there. I think you guys should definitely check it out. I'm going to leave links for all that stuff down below. And you can check out
you'll be
Deadhaus
able
Sonata.
to watch it fresh if you join us on Wednesday, the 27th, on the official Deadhaus Sonata channel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys are doing it again, I think, right?
Yes.
Yes, cool. So a repeat play of the Deadhaus Sonata demo. You guys can find all that stuff down below. And don't forget to check out Deadhaus Sonata at deadhaussonata.com, as well as all our social medias. You know, we are on Discord, Twitter, Facebook, all that jazz. Reddit. There is a subreddit. All the
there
Deadhaus
is a
Sonata
Reddit
stuff
that Mike periodically checks.
There's a Reddit that's dead in the water. No. And you can follow me.
It's actually
Calypso.
gotten a lot more active lately, which
has
I
it?
need to keep on top of way more.
Yeah, I should probably actually jump on the Reddit and post some things on the Reddit. But yeah, we have a Reddit. So yeah, you can follow Deadhaus Whispers, Deadhaus Whispers. Geez, you can follow Deadhaus Sonata at Deadhaus Game on Twitter. You can follow me, Calypso, on Twitter at Necrolibriatus. If you search up anything Deadhaus Sonata related on YouTube, chances are I will show up, as well as the official Deadhaus Sonata stuff. And you can follow Faceless Mike on Twitter and every other social media at the Faceless Mike. Yes. So
it's where I use my Instagram to almost exclusively post crappy video game pictures.
Yes. He's a screenshot madness.
Lets me put up the Deadhaus
one. And yes, that will be us, guys. We are glad you stuck around for this long, and we will see you all in the next one.
Catch you later.
Bye, everyone.